Okay, welcome to the next Blender tutorial. So today we're going to be making a shopping cart or a shopping trolley. So we're going to go ahead and switch the render engine to cycles, and I'm going to go ahead and take the default cube right here. We'll go with S for scale, elongate this a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead to the edit mode and we'll go ahead and make this into a nice little basket. So I'm going to go ahead and take the back right here. Press G, bring this up, and then we'll take the back face right here and we'll just elongate this just slightly so that we've got that nice little curve that shopping carts have. Let's go ahead and take this top face right here, delete faces. Now usually what I like to do is delete the back and the front, and then we'll place another face within this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go Control R and just go ahead and roll this a bunch of times, roll the center scroll a bunch of times until you get maybe about that many vertices. And then we're going to do the exact same for the front as well, so let's go Control R and then we'll go ahead and roll this as well just for the front. So once you've got something like this, let's go to object mode. We'll go to modifier, add modifier, and you want to go with wireframe, so you've got something like this. Now for a lot of you saying this one's cross-hatched up at the bottom right here and this one's cross-hatched at the side right here, I've done that on purpose because we're going to put a few bars going this way as well. Don't worry about it, it's all part of the process. So I'm going to make the thickness a little bit more than what it already is. So that will be our base layer of our shopping cart. And then the second thing that I'm going to do, let's go ahead and add. You can go with a plane, I guess you could do this with a plane. Let's go ahead and go 7-7. We're going to go and make this plane the same length as the shopping trolley. So we press G, bring this forward, and then I'm going to go ahead, bring this back, and then S for scale just to bring this in. And what this is going to do is going to give us a little bit of 3D, because if you've just got this all as flats right here, it's going to look a bit naff. So we're going to go with modifier again and go wireframe. Go to your object menu, so you've got this like right here. What you're going to want to do is, let's go with G, bring this down to the base right here, and then we'll go ahead and just improve the thickness a little bit. So now we have this little kind of bit at the bottom. Let's go with Shift D, duplicate this out so you've got two of these. Shift D again, oops, Shift D again. Let's go about mid point right here, and what we're going to do, let's go with the edit mode. And I'm going to go ahead and take this back piece right here and press G and bring this up just ever so slightly. Now you'll notice we have this little kind of curve on the inside right here. So what you could do is you could put boundary on all of these. So just click that boundary just under wireframe, and we can do this to the outside cage as well. Excuse me. So we have this as is, and then we're going to go ahead and press Shift D again. We'll make a secondary one just here, and then you're going to want to go to object mode, take the back piece again and just press G and bring it up. So now we should have something like this. So now we have these 3 bars at the back, and we need to make the handles, and we need to make the back of the trolley as well. So what I'm going to do with this, let's go ahead and add in a plane. We'll press G, we'll bring this to the back, R for rotate, it's 90 degrees. Let's go with G, bring this to the back as well. I'm going to go S for scale. Let's go with edit mode and take these faces on either side and just place them just on the outside of this cage right here. Just hold down the center scroll for your axis. You're going to want to go ahead and place this roughly at the top right here. Let's take the bottom bit as well. Place this at the bottom just here. And what I'm going to do is let's go for E for extrude, bring that down. S for scale, bring it in. I'm just looking at the notes that I've got right here. The top part as well, I'm going to go for E for extrude, bring this up, and then S for scale, bring this in just slightly. And then from this part, I think what I'm going to do is kind of make a handle as well. So let's go with this at the top. We'll go with G, bring this back just ever so slightly. And then we'll go E for extrude, bring this to the back. So you've got something like that. And then we're going to go E for extrude again, and we're just going to make a handle. So let's go with G, bring this up. E for extrude. E for extrude again. Let's press G and just bring that forward. You want to make sure this doesn't go sideways, that it's nice, neat, straight. And then we're going to go E for extrude, bring it down to the front. G, bring it forward. And bring it back just slightly. And then we'll go E for extrude again. Just outwards as such. And then we'll press G and bring this down into the trolley base. Just as such. So when we go back to object mode, show something like this. Let's go to add modifier. We'll go wireframe again. Now we should have something like this. So let's go ahead and just improve the sides and then add that boundary. So now we have this. So we're going to place a handle in between here, and then we're going to try and get a child's seat just in between here as well. So what I'm going to do, let's go ahead. I think we should use a box for the bottom. Let's go to add cube. You want to go with G, bring this down, scale this, G again. I'm going to go ahead and place the back of the box that we've just made, this nice little cube, at the back of the trolley. You can take some of these and shade smooth as well if you wanted to. So let's take this cube right here, we'll place it here. Let's go to edit mode. Let's go ahead and get the faces. So you're going to want this face coming down at an angle, so G. Let's get to this to the front of the trolley, just to about here, and then take this back angle right here, go straight across like this. So you're going to want something akin to this. Just as such. Once you've got this, let's go ahead and go Control R, and then I'm just going to go ahead and section little bits off just for support. Let's go the middle right there as well, and maybe we'll delete this, delete the edges, see if that works, and then we can try and add modifier and get wireframe for this. So we've got something like that. Let's go ahead and improve the meters and add that boundary. Go ahead and shade smooth if you need to. So that's the base of the trolley right there. Some trolleys do have like little cabinets underneath them, but for this particular one we're just doing regular kind of trolley look. Okay, so the next thing that we need is we need some handles up here, we need a child sit in the back, and we need the wheels. So the wheels, pretty simple, we can just do cylinder, rotate these sideways by 90, scale them in a little bit. What I'm going to do before I scale them down is just detail them a bit. So right click shade smooth, let's go to edit mode, take the face on this side, hold down shift, take the face on this side, E for extrude, S for scale, this is going to be the tyre itself, so let's go S for scale there, just outwards. E for extrude again, leave it where it is. S for scale so it can go inwards. Oops. There we go. Maybe S for scale a little bit more, so you've got that nice little wheel rim. So with these in particular, what we can do is, if I just go Control R, just do another loop cut there, and then Control R, another loop cut there. We can take the faces, so the defaults for the materials, let's go default, we'll go with wheel default. Let's take the faces right here, and we'll do maybe like a nice little pink kind of red for the inside, like a little rose kind of colour, so you probably have something like this. The outside ones, let's take the faces from the outside. Just make sure they're even on either side. Let's go ahead and press S for scale, just to bring this out just a little bit more. And we'll go ahead and make this one a grey. So if you press the plus, new material, assign, and then just make this kind of like a dirt grey, maybe just pull that roughness up a little bit as well. So now you've got this nice little wheel. We'll go ahead, object mode, add. Let's go with, I mean you could go with a cube if you wanted to. I'm going to go with a cylinder just for the rim of it, so let's go with G, cylinder. S for scale, just bring that down a little bit, right click shade smooth, G, bring this up. I'm going to go ahead and make this the silver that we have. Actually no, you know what, I'm gonna make a new silver. Let's go shiny silver, because we can use that for the entire cart. Let's go with grey. Turn up that metallic, turn down the roughness. Let's go with G, bring this down slightly. So now we've got this nice little rim going on. And I'm going to go ahead and go Shift D, and I'm going to make one for the middle here. So let's go for R for rotate, and we'll go 90. S for scale. Try and get that as centre as you possibly can. I mean, you can have wonky wheels if you wanted to, but right, that's roughly centre and it's showing on both sides. Now we can go ahead and add in, let's go with a cube, G, bring this to the side, scale this down, make it thinner, and then what we're going to do, go to edit mode, take the base plate right here, we'll go S for scale, make it into a kind of triangle. And let's just trying to think here. Right, let's press A. Let's press G, bring this up. Thin this out just a little bit more. Scale that in, just make sure it sits and fits. You're going to want to do this on both sides. So let's go and make this a shiny metal, shiny silver or whatever. And then we'll press G, just bring this out just slightly. And then we'll do the same on the opposite side. So Shift D, move that across. And then this little bolt that we put in the middle, we'll go ahead and press S for scale and just link those two up, just as such. The next thing, I think, I'm just looking at different trolleys on here. Yeah. Usually they swivel on one of these, and then they just kind of sit to the frames. So if I do Shift D and just scale this new one down, and then scale it outwards a little bit, it looks like it's got a nice little swivel on there, and that is roughly a wheel. Let's go S for scale, bring this down, G. And then we can bring this across. You can have them as big or as small as you want for your trolley. Totally up to you. Let's place this on the base right here. Let's go Shift D, bring that one across to that side, and then we can do Shift D, bring that across to the back, and then Shift D, bring that one across to that side, and you can make them roughly in the right position. I think I'm just going to move that one back a little bit more. Yeah, roughly like that. I mean, shopping trolleys, everyone knows that they're not perfect anyway. So let's go ahead and take this frame right here. We can do the drop down menu to the shiny silver. You can amend this afterwards if you need to. Remove some of that shine maybe, make it a bit more silver. Shiny silver right there, and then we need shiny silver for this one. Alright, what I'm going to do is just put the roughness up just a little bit and then just brighten that silver. So you've got something like this, maybe lessen that metallic. Put a little bit more roughness in there. Something akin to that. Let's see. So now we need the handle and we need the child seats. And some trolleys do have additional little plastic bits on there, so totally up to you what you want to do. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to go with edit mode real quick and just add a couple more loop cuts just on the front right here, and then a couple maybe just in the middle right here. So when we go back to object mode, it should be like this. I think that's a bit too much, but to be honest with you, most trolleys kind of have their own little thing going on. So let's, I'm gonna get a plane. Let's go with G, bring this down to the back. I'm gonna go ahead and rotate this by 90. G to bring this up, just make sure that it aligns and sits and fits right at the back here. And we'll go S for scale, bring this out. G at the back. And I'm going to go with edit mode, take this face and place this upwards. Let's go ahead and do a couple of cuts right here, so Control R. Just do about the back there, and then change this to we're going to want that nice shiny silver with this, and then we want the modifier, which is going to be wireframe. Go back to your object mode, show something like that. So now the child seat. Child seat is going to be interesting. I'm going to take the exact same mainframe actually and go Shift D, scale it inwards, press G to bring it up. You're gonna wanna elongate it, make it thinner, and then put the seat behind it, I guess. So let's go with S, elongate it, make it a bit thinner. I'm gonna go ahead with thickness, make it a little bit thicker so you can see the seat. G to bring it forward to about there. Don't forget to hit that boundary, or check that boundary even. So now we've got the seats here. Let's go scale that in just a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead with edit mode, do another couple of loop cuts just at the front right here, and then maybe a couple there as well. And now we just need the plastic seat, so let's go with cube, scale this down as such, G to the back. You just want to get it between the seat and the frame, get the seat between the frame and the back. That nice little gap right there would do. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, it just needs to represent a seat. We'll do this as maybe blue. So, materials tab, new, this will be seat. Make this a blue kind of colour for the shopping. We need to do the handle. Let's go with add. We'll go with a cylinder. Rotate this by 90. S for scale. Right click shade to move. Scale it down. G, go across. And then we'll do G, go across to here. S for scale. Bring this across. Now at this point you might want to put the silver on the outside just here. Silver on the outside just here. Let's scale inwards. Scale outwards. And then I'm just going to cover the bars at the back. So it might take a little bit of fiddling with this, but we can get there. I think that needs a little bit more. As such, so I could shorten it as well. I'll make it a little bit longer. So that'll be your handle. Now what you could do with this is edit mode. And you could do a little cut here, a little cut there. Let's go to X-ray, select everything in the middle, and then S for scale, and you can bring it down just slightly, so it's thinner. And let's see, we'll change this handle to blue as well, seat blue. I'm just thinking, usually you'd find like an advertisement or something at the front, so let's go with add, cube, scale this in, scale it down a little bit. Oh, I've missed something as well. The trolleys in my area have this section at the front, so let's get that on there, and then I'll deal with that little section. So roughly about there. You don't want it to interact with the frame too much. And I'm going to go ahead, edit. So let's sit this front face right here. Come on, let's get this off X-ray actually. Sit the front face right here, E for extrude, S for scale, E for extrude, and then S for scale, and then on this section right here, and just kind of add the blue, I guess. So if you click new, plus, go down to the drop down, click seat and design. So everything's a nice uniform blue. I was thinking of adding a plastic section to the front of this, but to be honest with you, it kind of looks okay the way that it is. I guess like if you wanted that, you could take the handle and just go ahead, just place that on the front like it's a little bumper. Oh yeah, and the trolleys are going to need to fit into each other as well, so what I would suggest is get rid of this back bit here as well. So if you click the frame at the back, let's go with edit mode. Let's get rid of these faces right here. Let's see what this looks like. So yeah, you're going to want to be able to get all the trolleys into the back right here. So I'm just thinking, if I take this light, let's see if this sits and fits, shall we? I mean, to be honest with you, if you're just doing it as a kind of piece, then it should, in theory, just fit snugly, but let's see. I think we should bring up the front of the trolley just slightly. Let's get rid of that secondary one. Take this frame right here and edit mode. You're gonna want to tilt this. So take this face, click here. You go diagonal to the furthest diagonal part, shift, control, click, and it'll select everything for you. Now, rotating this, you just got to play it by eye. just there, I think. I think that should do. Let's go ahead and test that theory, shall we? Select everything, Shift D, and there we go. Should be able to get 2 trolleys into each other like that. Now the only problem that I have is this bumper at the front. That is kind of concerning, and I think we need to pull the vertices out just slightly on the base plate as well. So let's get this base plate. Edit mode. You're gonna want to select everything around the outside. So let's go for side select right here. Select that entire square right there. S for scale, and just go outwards. You're probably going to want to do it with the other sides as well. So to make sure it's equal, select these 3, hold shift, and then select the opposing 3 on the other side. S for scale, and just bring this outwards. And then just continue going down for a few of the slots. And then we will take the bumper at the front and we'll make this smaller. So now, when all is said and done and we shift to deduplicate, we should be able to fit these together. They just about fit snugly. I mean, to be honest with you, if you've got them as, say, like a prop in the corner or whatever like that, and they're just sat together, no one's really going to notice that much. But yeah, I would say that's pretty peachy for a set of trolleys. I'm going to keep one out just as such, so we've got the actual trolley. And then I'll do a duplicate, and then I'll do a row of them or something like that. But yeah, that's a trolley in a nutshell. I think you could add a little bit more to that if you wanted to, but generally the trolleys that I'm looking at, some of them do have coin tokens on them, and then some of them are just kind of loose. So it depends what you want. I think if you're going to put a coin token on there, UV sphere would be great for that, or a cylinder or something like that. Yeah, so that's the tutorial. If you guys liked, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. See you later. Bye.